right, and welcome to What Happens in This House Stays in This House, Strength Over Silence podcast. My name is Tammy Montgomery Dozier. Thank you guys for looking and watching for another episode with me. So this episode, this is my first time ever doing this. I have couples, and today's society, it doesn't seem like the family is getting a good name as it used to be. Like back in the day, you know, when we had families, it was a lot of us and different things, but it doesn't seem like we're doing it the way it used to be done. I don't know if we change, things change, what happened. You would think that from generation to generation that the family would be closer, but it seems kind of different right now. So, but I do have 3 couples, and we are going to talk about some stuff, some family stuff, and just talk about overall love and marriage and family. All right, guys, if you can please introduce yourself, give me your names. I'm going to start at the top with Miss Latoya. If I don't know if you.
Hello, my name is Latoya. This is my husband, William.
How everybody doing?
We have been married for 5 years, together for 7. We do have a beauty shop, barber shop, and gym in Addison, Illinois. We just celebrate with 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. And yeah.
Thank you. All right, let's go to the Duyans.
So my name is Sasha Duyan, and my wife is Lakeisha Duyan. We have been married for 15 years, and we started dating in 2001. So we've been together for quite a while. About 16, 17 years, or am I saying that right?
No,
I'm sorry. That's 21 years. My bad.
Right.
I can't add right now. My addition is off. But anyway, we've been together for that long and been blessed. So
awesome.
You know.
Thank you so much. All right, Lyles.
Go ahead, Mika. Go ahead.
He's like, falling for that.
You was late, so you go ahead.
Really?
You need to check
Tamika.
up math.
He's trying to see if I know, right? This is what.
Yeah.
I'm Tamika Myrick Lyles. This is Damian Lyles. We've been married for 9 years. It'll be 10 years this year in November. Thank you. We've been together for I don't know how many years. It's been a long time. I can't even. Can you put a number on it?
What, 2008? So
There you go.
it's 14.
There you go. It's been a while. We own S&D Catering, Soulful Delights. Sorry, we have 3 kids, 1 25, 1 13, and 1 8.
All right, thank you.
Funny how you forget to mention children. Like, oops.
I did too, right? I sure did too.
I felt bad. I'm like, ooh.
Y'all can go back. Okay, y'all have kids. Y'all can go back. Brown, Duyan.
Latoya.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, Lord. So we have, I'm going to say 3 children, 23, 13, and 11. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have one. Simone is 12 going on 25, as I always say.
Right.
And back to that whole thing about the dates and stuff. Typically, I remember. This one right here will forget the dates of our stuff. So
This is
Yeah.
not how you get
Now,
off the session.
I'm just saying. I'm
I know
just
I'm
saying.
terrible.
But anyway, we're gonna just let that go right.
Okay,
We're gonna work on
no
it. We're gonna work
problem. All right, so let me ask you guys, how did you guys meet? It doesn't matter, anybody can start. How did you guys meet? I don't want to get nobody in trouble if they can't remember stuff, so y'all.
I know we were introduced to each other,
Yeah, by my friend.
Yeah, by a
or
friend
his
of hers,
too.
a friend of mine. So they were playing matchmaker and decided that they thought we make a cute couple and introduce us. Shot each other images of each other. And
Wait a minute.
oh, go ahead.
I didn't know that I was getting an image of him. All I did was I got a text message and I was like, who's this Mexican? Can I say that?
Really?
I was like,
Yeah.
who's this Mexican in my phone, right? I love everybody. No shade towards Mexican people or nothing. I just want to be clear. Because he looked like a Mexican to me. He did not look like an African-American Black man. And so next thing I looked, I was like, my friend was like, oh, that's Damien. I think you guys should talk. So that's how we ended up talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he already knew the plan. I didn't know the plan.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah. That's new discovery.
You didn't know the plan?
All right. Anybody else?
So whatever Keisha says about how we met is not true.
Uh-oh.
Now, that being said, we met first, we were at Illinois State University. That's where we went to school.
Okay.
And I was in the cafeteria. There was this late night cafeteria that sold food till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm down there, and then this girl comes down. She got rollers in her hair. And I'm like, I asked my boy, I'm like, hey, who is that? He said, oh yeah, that's Keisha. Introduced us. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. She's a nice girl. Now I come home to Chicago for the weekend or something, and I go to this party. My boy at the time was throwing reggae parties every weekend. So I come home and I'm at the reggae party. We in the basement of this reggae party. Coming down the stairs is the girl I just met at school. So I'm like, man, I said, well, God is good. And so I talked to her, you know what I'm saying? I got her phone number. We went on a date on Christmas Day in 2001. Now, she gonna tell you that I gave her my dorm room number, my house number, I don't even know if I had a cell phone
I wish I would
number.
have kept the paper. He
You know
gave
what
me
I'm
his parents' number, everybody's number, so I can be sure.
I don't know. This is the part I don't know if this part is
And
true.
that kind of freaked me out because I'm like, why? I come home. How is it that we coincidentally at the same spot at the same time? That was kind of weird.
Oh, she's trying to say I'm stalking her now.
But about the rollers, I just want to mention this point. Now, he met me for rollers in my pajamas. And guess what he complained about now? If I put in my head, bro, but that's how he met me. That's all I'm gonna say.
So that's how we met, though.
Okay, thank you. All right, Browns.
Me and Toya, we met at the barbershop, actually, man. She walked into the barbershop and it stopped. Everybody stopped what they was doing. She was so pretty and she just like had a glow about her. And I immediately put my head down because I was like, man, everybody looking. I'm not looking. Every time after that, it was like, oh, there she go again. And then I think one day, one of the guys was a little disrespectful to her at the shop, and I pulled him to the side. I was like, "Man, you making us look bad. Don't do that. You got to treat the women right around the shop, or ain't nobody gonna want to come around no more." And then I pulled her to the side and apologized for, my people being a little unruly as far as handling a female around the shop, and we just took that conversation and just started talking and getting to know each other.
Nice. So, guys, when did you know? Like, okay, this is the one?
I'll start this one. So, right after I graduated from college, I was in the Army National Guard. And I graduated in December of 2004. And January of 2005, I deployed to Iraq. Now, I deployed to train. We trained from January to whatever it was, April or May, and we went to Iraq in May, and I was there for a year. And I realized being over there that life is short. And when you have someone that is good to you, that supports you, that loves you, that, that's important. And like I said, basically, again, war makes you realize how short life is.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And saying that, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that because of war, that's the only reason why I love my wife. Right. But it does put things in perspective to say, tomorrow you could be gone. So cherish what you have today. So that was my thing.
Thank you for that. All right, next.
For me, it actually came, I thought, pretty fast. I fell in love with her, like her whole character, demeanor. She was really silly, but she actually held me down through a real difficult time in my life. I was going through some turmoil with my ex, and even my relationship with my son. But to see how she was there to hold me down through those hard times and accept him as one of her own sons as well. And even accepting her family accepted, all of us too. So I think all of that collectively just made me knew that, in due time, it's just a matter of time, when it was going to happen. But I would have to pinpoint probably, after that was probably like a year after I got done with radiography school. So, around probably like 2010. I knew that she was going to be the one.
Nice. Thank you. All right. Mr. Will.
You think you funny? Go ahead.
What was for you?
Oh, it's for me. When
Yes.
When did
you know?
Honestly, it was just like the unlimited conversations that we was just having about like our futures and what we meant to each other. And just one day I knew just based off of how fluid the conversation was. And it was just like, man, I feel like I could just spend the rest of my life with her because it's so easily for me to unravel and talk about anything with her. And I'm not that type of person. I don't tell my business or anything like that. I keep a lot of stuff to myself, my emotions, everything. I was in the military as well, bro. I went to Iraq twice. So
wow,
that let me know as well. Life is short. So I take my opportunities and I seize them right away, pretty much. I don't let too much get past me. So I seen greatness in my wife, and I didn't want to hesitate or fumble as far as wife and her, making her, my wife. So that's when I knew just countless conversations where it's just like we could just talk forever. And it was just like, man, I've never sat and opened up to a female like this. That's what it was for me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being so honest. I appreciate that. So my next question is today's society with people and relationships, and I know you guys see social media. Now, do you think that people put their problems on social media too much? Do you think it's the downfall on a lot of relationships?
I think
Because they expose too much.
it's horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that it's the attention seekers where it's like, even for people that get married, it's for that. It's for the attention of just saying, oh, I'm married or I got him, is more of a show than what marriage is supposed to be based on. It's supposed to be just you two, not the world.
Right.
So to publicize so much of their business, it's just crazy to me. I find it to be very comical, honestly. I don't take it seriously. You can't possibly think that your mate or whomever takes you serious if your whole life is being broadcasted to the world to see, and you're actually internalizing these comments, these responses, these likes, this attention, and you're bringing it in your home, in your marriage. It's a mixture for disaster, if you ask me.
Thank you. Anybody else?
It all.
I'm a social media guy. I like social media. I like to post stuff. I like to be on there and just, show what we're doing and things like that. Maybe, I don't know, some might say a little too much. But what I will say is that you're not going to see me post that my wife just whatever pissed me off because whatever.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. That's not for nobody to really know. I like to post about our family when we take trips, when we, when my daughter is doing her dance and when she's doing this and that and the other, or when I'm doing, I don't know, whatever you might call it, right? Mm-hmm. Now you could say, could we post about the bad so people will understand that marriage ain't always peachy keen? But I think that, social media I don't think that's the place, right? Yeah. And so, you don't want to let everybody all in your business, and they don't need to know everything that you're doing. And not only that, the thing about social media is that you already know in this world, there are always haters out there.
Definitely.
There's haters out there waiting to pour into them wounds and say, that's why you need to leave that Negro. That's why you need to do this. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main reason why you keep quiet. I remember in marriage counseling when the pastor told us, don't even tell your mom and them when y'all fight.
Yeah.
because your mom and them will pour wounds or pour salt in the wounds.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, the way he described it, he said, you and your wife will rectify the situation, but guess what? Mama, grandma, whatever, mama's still mad.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
she's still holding that grudge because you
Yep.
told her that he said this to me, and she's still mad. And so that's why y'all done dealt with that. Y'all over it. Mama
Yeah.
still remember that 2 years ago he said something crazy to my daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? That's why you keep quiet.
Definitely. I feel you on that one. So my next question is this then. Do you think people work hard at marriage? Or do you think a lot of people just get married just to say they're married? Then the first time it gets hard, then, hey, I'm gone, I'm up. Surrounded with your family or friends or whoever you know around. Do you think they work hard at it? Or do you think, like you just said, they talk to other people about it and they give them bad advice and they roll with that?
Yeah.
I think the younger generation, and I think we're probably the youngest on the call, I think the younger generation does not understand the foundation of what marriage is. I don't think that they take it to heart. Again, it becomes a fashion show. Who had the best dress, who had the most flowers, who spent the most money. I don't want to go into marriage in debt, but again, I have friends who were married and are still paying for a wedding and they're divorced. So with that, I feel like the meaning of it is being taken away.
Yeah. They want a wedding, not a marriage. That's what's happening.
And
People want weddings, not a marriage. And
absolutely.
That's where they get lost.
No one
want a marriage.
The effort. And I mean, I feel like a marriage is no different than any relationship. You get back what you put into it. If you put the love, the effort, the blood, the sweat, and the tears, is no different than your life. You get those payouts. It may not be immediate. It may not be tomorrow, but you keep working at it and you're working at it together. I guarantee you it's going to flourish. But you pour that nonsense, that negativity, you bring all that stuff, guess what? It gets reflected back. So, I mean, I just feel like if you're in it for the right reasons and you pour into it what you want out of it, you're going to reciprocate all of that.
Yeah.
I remember going to a wedding. It was downtown at Buckingham Fountain. They had a horse and buggy and doves flew out. I mean, when I tell you, it was the cream of the crop. I think they stayed married less than a year.
Wow.
All of that playing. They probably playing longer than they stayed married.
So Keisha and I went to a wedding, probably the best wedding we've ever gone to. We went to New York and went to a wedding that was just immaculate. We get there let's say we get there Friday. We get on this boat Friday. We have a nice little, cocktail party. Saturday's the wedding. We go to the wedding. Then we go back to our room. We change into tuxes for the reception. The reception is black after 5. We get there. They got champagne. They got hors d'oeuvres. Then you go upstairs and they got the dinner, and then they got a band that, not a DJ. They had a band that played the whole night, that sang every song you can imagine all night. They had photo booth. Then we went downstairs afterwards. They had more food. She had food trucks. She had cigars. She had more music. I swear they spent over $100,000. And same thing. They were married for about a year or 2.
Wow.
So we caught up on this whole thing about the wedding. And I'm sorry, let me sidetrack real quick and say, I got to give this disclaimer. I love to talk.
Okay. And I'm trying to hold my peace on it. And I wish I would have lifted this up so I can pinch him to make him be quiet. So
it's all fine. That's what we're here for.
At least I admitted that I love to talk, though.
Yeah, but these,
you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, though, this wedding was amazing, right?
Wow.
But they were married for like a year or 2. So yes, people are so caught up on the wedding and on the idea of being married. But I think what it boils down to, so many people are not biblically sound when it comes to marriage and understanding what the principles of being married are. And even then, I get it. It's not easy, but you have to have that foundation. Too many times now, you get pissed off about whatever little thing. You be like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
It's
you know.
So
So if that was the case, then Keisha would have
is.
left me 15 years ago because I probably make her mad. I probably piss her off every day.
That's what I was saying. If I got on Facebook posting all the time, I would look bipolar. One day I'd be like, oh, I'm just so in love. The next day I'm like, you know what, this ain't happening. You know, so
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just real.
So,
but
yeah.
it's normal. You can love
It's like the stock market. It's just
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Thank you guys for answering that. My next question: with everything going on as far as raising kids, there are so many changes. Even from when I was a kid, these kids, they know so much. They get on social media. They know way more than we did when we were kids. How do you guys deal with that in today's society? If they come home and say something that you might not necessarily believe in, and you're trying to tell them, well, you know what, this is not right, but everybody around them think it is right. So how do you guys handle that?
I've been honest. To be honest, my son's 13 and they are teaching so much stuff at school. I'm going to try to be politically correct because I don't want to offend, but certain things, I'll say he has a friend that wants to be called a boy, but dresses like a girl, wear wigs like a girl, but wants you to call her a boy.
Mm-hmm.
And get offended if you say she, girls, or whatever, which doesn't make sense. And I'm just explaining to him that, do it make sense to you? If you want to be called a boy, wouldn't you naturally want to just dress up or whatever? I don't know what the end thing is, but shouldn't you just look like a boy? And so I told him, I said, what you're telling me to do is basically go outside. You're telling me the sky is green. So I'm supposed to say the sky is green because that's what you told me. But in reality, the sky is blue. So what do I do with that? I'm just honest with my son about things. You know, you can go along with what people say, but you have to know the truth within you. So whatever is happening on the outside, it could be a complete lie. You know the truth. So live in the truth. And that's what we do, because I feel like if I live the lie with you, then I'm living a lie too. That's the only way I can think to handle it for our house. So that's what we do. We just be honest and tell the truth. And we want him to see the reality of the situation, because the reality of the situation, that is a girl, but she just wants to be called a boy.
Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that.
In our household, we tell her what we believe because we believe in God.
Right.
And we tell her things that we believe as a Christian, what we believe in here. What goes on out there is completely different, but still respect other people's differences, because they're no less human than what we are.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's confusing, because that's confusing to me as well. The him, her, she, he, all that.
Right.
Pronouns.
At the end of the day, I still want her to be respectful of that person and their choices.
Right.
In terms of the social media, he's quiet about this because I be all up in my little girl business. Who you talking to? I look through her phone. I check everything. I check her text messages, because I feel like, you know, she has something going for her, and I don't want her to get caught up in all that stuff. She's at an age like this preteen age where anything can happen. We all been young, we all been there, but what they're dealing with is something completely different.
Yes, yeah.
Than what we had to deal with the social media stuff. It's a beast. They know the way they talk and the language the way they speak to each other. Mm-hmm. I don't speak like that.
A whole nother level.
Yeah. I don't speak. I don't curse. I've never been a person that approach my friends and call them B's and H's. Yeah. I don't roll like that. But that's the way their dialogue, and even at 11 and 12, it is, I mean, it blows my mind. Wow. Because I'm like, we didn't talk like that. Mm-hmm. At least the people that I hung around, that's not how you, and especially as a young lady, I'm like, don't conduct yourself in that manner.
Yeah.
So in terms of, to answer your question, social media, I stay in her butt. And me and Tammy are cousins, if y'all don't know. And she knows my mom. My mom don't play. And I guess that trickles down to me. Right. I don't believe in spanking her and stuff like that, but I do try to impart knowledge in her and let her know how valuable she is. Not to say that she's better than anyone else, but I want her to be prideful of her being like a girl and being a productive woman and productive person in society. I don't want her to get caught up in this whole social media stuff, because whatever she does now can follow her for the rest of her lives.
Yes.
Versus when we were kids, we did a lot of stupid stuff. I don't know if y'all did, but I did.
Yeah.
And God, I would be crawling
Thank God
out
we're
of my
documented.
skin if somebody could pull
Man.
that up off of social media.
Yes.
But whatever they do now, if they taking pictures and all this other stuff, that people can pull that up years from now. There's nothing that we can do to protect them from that. So yeah, I just try to stay on top of her and try to let her know she's valuable, and hopefully, that resonates with her, at least while she's under my roof. I told her after she, get 18, she can do whatever she wants. But while she's here, she's got to follow our guidelines and be under the beliefs that we're having. We're not following her, because I think that's what's happening in some households too. You follow what goes on in our household.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't speak on social media first. Well, my son don't have social media, and the only social media, I shouldn't say he don't. He has a TikTok, and that is heavily monitored. He doesn't have a Facebook. He doesn't have an Instagram. However, our daughter that dances has a parent monitored Instagram, and that's because we was asked to form her. What is it? She has to have it's like a portfolio for her. So dancing with people like all across the world. So these people have to be tagged in it. She doesn't have a resume. She didn't have a portfolio. So we did that because she needed a portfolio. That's the only reason my 8-year-old have a page, and she does not know nothing about Instagram. She does not know how to enter it. Tammy, this is your first time hearing about this Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So nobody really knows that she has an Instagram. We just started this maybe a couple of weeks ago, but I am not about, I feel like it's fantasy world. And we already living in a fantasy world outside of Instagram, Facebook, and all that. I feel like this is already, because the things that's going on in the world now, it's like, I want my kids to deal with reality as much as they can, because I feel like that is something that's wrong with their society. There's no reality like being set base for them. So we don't do social media for the kids. And TikTok is fun because they can do little dances. And like I said, I can heavily monitor him. He's not doing anything. And it might seem like we like sheltering. We probably are sheltering. But
he's just 12 years old, so I don't
he's
care.
13. He just turned 13. So.
Whatever, 13. Still.
I mean, so I just feel like we can introduce him in doses. I don't know. I just feel like it's so much. And like bullying is, I mean, I don't think I could take that. So for me not to catch no case, I just need to keep my kids. That's my biggest thing. I don't want to catch no case. I just feel like I need to keep them at bay of certain things. So that's just my whole take on social media.
Thank you. All right, the Browns.
Well, as you know, your niece is very much like her mother. And I, at a younger age, I did allow her to have the freedom and the liberty to have social media, and it got taken away from her, and she does not have it. She had it maybe like 8, 9. She had, what did she have? What was that? She had Snapchat, and she took a photo of herself. Now it was her and her cousins, but she had on a sports bra, and I went off. Like, I lost my mind. And ever since then, she has not been allowed to have any social media. Now, she is 13. She is in 8th grade. I do post her on mine. But, as you said initially, Tamika, I believe in full transparency when it comes to parenting. A lot of people may not agree with my idea of transparency when it comes to my daughter, but I believe in being honest. And I don't want to hide anything. I don't want you to ask a question outside of this house and get the wrong answer. I don't care how ugly it may be, inside, outside. We're going to have this conversation. So I have those conversations, with her about the world, its ugliness, about myself, about the truth. I'm not perfect. I don't display myself to be perfect. I don't make all the right decisions when it comes to parenting. There is no blueprint. This is how you parent Casey. No, I have a stepdaughter, and they're two totally different children. I can't parent them the same. But at the same time, my stepdaughter has social media. My daughter does not. So to have two children in two separate households of, well, so-and-so has this. I'm not so-and-so's mother. I'm your mother. I love her dearly, but you all are two different children. And the things that you may do, or the innocence that one may think to be have had, those are the ones you actually have to monitor a little bit more closely. But again, with those, I make my choices for my child, and I tell all the time, it's for your safety. And I tell her, you're not ready for that aspect of your life. You may think you are, but you're not ready for that. And, I don't know what you all daughter looks like, the Duyans, but I do know that we have very beautiful children. And I know with Tamika, and, you look at Gabby and be like, hey, these are beautiful girls. There's predators out there.
Yeah.
And what they see in the mirror and the accolades that they receive from outside, that becomes, embedded. Like, I'm pretty. And they are beautiful. But because of that, you are a target everywhere you go. That's
a scary thing. Oh my God.
Even with TikTok, don't get me wrong, to post a video and take a picture, you have people that are predators looking at these young ladies. That is scary for me. Now, although I post my daughter,
right.
And again, the content of which their mindsets are for these pictures, for these likes, for these followers, you're not ready for what comes with that.
Right.
So keep asking me, okay, mommy, so when I turn 16, can I have Facebook? We'll talk about it when that time comes. But as of right now, you're straight A. You're doing good. I want you to keep, as I don't remember your name, I'm sorry.
Keisha.
You want her to remain focused and understand you have so much potential. You have so much at stake for yourself. I don't want you to jeopardize that with a photo or a distraction of a handsome young man. So for that, my baby's going to high school next year, and I'm mortified.
I don't even want to think about it.
Our son he's in 7th grade, so he has a late birthday. But I'm worried about my son because there's women predators too. So listen, my son get talked about how handsome he is, how big he's gotten. You know what I'm saying? You'll be like, what you checking my baby out for? So I have to look both ways. That's why I say I heavily monitor his TikTok. But if he didn't have that TikTok, he would be like, well, mommy, he still call me mommy. So, you know what I'm saying? He's saying mom, he still call me mommy. So, I just feel like, I can give him that little bit, but like I said, I heavily monitor. And my son goes to a private school that is different than any school ever. So that's why I say I kind of let him have a little bit. That's a little bit, because I feel like they're so sheltered to the world. My son don't want to go to public school because he I keep hearing there's drugs and DJ, that's not the reality of public school.
That's everywhere.
Yeah, sure is.
She's gonna get jumped on. She's never been to public school either. She's been in private school. She was like, are they gonna jump on me?
That's DJ too. DJ think the same thing. He just think that the world outside of going to a private school is mad. It's a prison, and he has that thought in his mind. But he, like I said, I know the world is cruel. So it's just, you have to be mindful of the things you allow. And I was sheltered. So that might be why we might be a little bit sheltering with our kids. But like you said, no,
I don't think so.
But our daughter, like you were saying, she is beautiful and she can dance her butt off. And we were somewhere last year. People knew our daughter, which scared the out of me.
Yeah, like, I ain't know my baby name.
And we were like, what? Oh, we know her. We see her. Where you see her dance? But people have seen her dance. People come to these competitions from all over the world and they know who she is. It's scary. It's scary. It's really, really scary. So I always say I don't want to catch a case, but I have to keep a peace with me because I'm like, I don't know. And if he's not with me, I most definitely have to be prepared because the world is crazy. The world is crazy and people do crazy things. And we in a high flow environment all the time. It's a lot of people around us. But my kid is smart enough to know to grab somebody's hand, like somebody she know hand, and don't let go. I'm glad about that she knows that. But this world is crazy.
It is. You definitely have to be careful. It's way different. You know, like when we're coming up, I think they had the Atlanta child stuff going on with that. That's about the most you heard of people harming kids. Now it's like everywhere. I used to be a part of a sex trafficking group at this mega church where they would talk about that. And now you have it all over the world. In Chicago, it's one of the biggest ones. You can be next to somebody next door and you have no clue. So you do have to be careful. So going to the fathers, most of your daughters are what? High school, almost high school, except for the exception of Tamika. Do y'all have y'all guns ready or what y'all need? Because you know what? What about dating? Have you guys accepted it yet or what's going on? Or
let me woofs out right here, right? Oh, I didn't tell y'all what I do for a living. I'm a federal law enforcement officer, so I got guns around here. So I'm planning to do the whole Bad Boys 2 episode.
Okay.
Whenever she decides she want to start dating, I'm gonna be cleaning my guns and I'm gonna be, Will Smith with, the chitty chitty bang bang, on a dude when he comes try to date my daughter. But y'all said something that I have this concern, right? Simone is the only child. She goes to public school now, but I'm concerned with her getting to this high school where this high school nowadays, they brawling, they fighting all the time. And the girls are fighting more than the boys now. And I'm concerned with the fact that because she's an only child, that she is spoiled. She got, her whatever, Jordans and all that. They going to be, you think you all that. So I'm going to jump you and I'm going to, the girl want to cut your face because you think you all that. I am so scared. I am super duper scared about that. And yeah, it's super scary, but we're going to pray to God that, depending on what we do, she may go to private school. I'm not really wanting to pay this private school tuition, but that might happen.
Yeah.
I've been doing it from 3 to 13.
Yeah, so it might very well happen. I don't know. We'll see.
And we homeschooling next year. Well, DJ's not. Well, DJ's not. DJ is one of those kids that need to be around other kids, and he doesn't want to be homeschooled. So he probably going to a different private school, or we may test the waters of public school. We'll see how it go. I don't know. But
I like your private school because they do yoga and all that kind of stuff.
They do yoga,
meditation.
Yeah. So he's not being challenged, so I'm not sure.
It's academically.
Yeah, academically. I think everything else is great, but academically, I think he's bored, and he need a little bit more structure in that. If they change some things, he'll stay. But right now, he's bored. Yeah, he's bored. Gabby love it, but I think she's homeschooling.
But as far as the dating thing, I already programmed my daughter. I said she can't date till she get married. So she's gonna be hella confused about what that means for hopefully quite some time. But she gonna have to wait.
I told Simone she can't get married till she's 35. So I mean, she can't date till she can't date till she about 35. She can't get married till 35. So I mean, hey, I done solved that problem.
All right. Anything from you, Will?
My girls, they soldiers. I was in the military, so I handle them young ladies, but they're also rough. I'm more afraid of the high school than I'm afraid for the high school. He
said they gonna go in there, they gonna tell.
The high school got their hands full when it comes to Toya's daughter, but when it comes to my daughter, it's more like, look, you might have to deal with a bully. You might have to deal with some racism. You might have to deal with this. That's why I don't mind social media, because I use it as a tool to teach my kids real and fake, BS from non-BS. I could say, when it comes to TikTok, I told my daughter, yo, people are making money off TikTok. You are not. So it's just entertainment for you unless you bringing in some money from it. So don't let me catch you doing nothing dumb on TikTok.
Real is
because
real.
they getting paid from it. You know, once you get so many views, you get money from it. So that's why I don't knock social media, because it's an opportunity for the people, not just Black people, but for anybody to make another stream of income.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it work for you.
Yeah. I think that's one thing I like about social media too. There are so many people that have been hustling their whole life and then they're finally seeing something from it. Because, you know, before you have gatekeepers that you can't get nowhere, but now they're creating their own. So I like that part of it. Yeah.
One of my close friends' daughter has, what is it called? The stuff for your lips?
Lip gloss.
Lip gloss. She had her own lip gloss line, and she promotes on Facebook and Instagram. She's 13. I like that. It gives you a chance to be a young entrepreneur. And then you got to advertise, you get to learn how to communicate with people of different ages, different races. So I don't mind social media. And as far as private school and public school, or just the kids going to school, I just really think it's within them. They're going to make the school not going to make them. That's just my beliefs. And like I say, I close on that. I was in the military, so I take some of that and some of what my mom and dad taught me. I put it together and I put it on them. I make my daughters do push-ups. I make them do sit-ups. I take them and we go with boxing lessons, karate lessons. I had to tell Toya daughter, look, don't be ducking her punches. When you in trouble, you got to take your whooping. Don't duck nothing. Don't dodge nothing like I showed you. So
I love it.
my daughters, they know how to defend themselves physically and verbally. I just more worry about telling them how to control it. You know, I teach them about properly breathing
like
in, breathing out.
Jesus.
I mean, really, that's what I do. I take
Hey,
that,
man.
I take my life experiences and I bring them into my father, and I take pride in that, you know. And I expect my daughters to have a young man that's similar to me, because I'm serious about my life, my job, my family. So they know it ain't no half-stepping when it comes to bringing somebody around me, or don't bring them around me, because they not gonna like being around me.
I guess.
Nah, Toya, don't even feel like that, because guess what? We out here trying to do what we got to do to raise these kids the best way we know how.
Oh no, it
You know
is.
what I mean?
That's why I say we have two totally different children. So when it comes to parenting, like again, my daughter is very rough. Very. That's why he say he's afraid of the school.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, she's been in a predominantly Black school, and we live out south right now. We're moving to the western suburbs, so she's going to Glenbard West, predominantly white school. So I'm teaching her now, I need you to use your words and not your hands. I can't say it enough. I need you to use your words and not your hands, because
it's got to be, you got to watch how you use your words as well.
All that.
Yeah.
But, you know, she hasn't been subjected to racism. And that's something that we have been talking about when it comes to the wording, the actions, how to handle it, and just how you said before, just knowing who you are and just standing firm on it. Like her friends have been teasing her, like, oh, you gonna have a white boyfriend named Tom. She was like, no. But that's what's coming from her kids now, because they're knowing that she's going to the suburbs. So when it comes to the exceptions of what is, what's not, and she's like, you know, I don't want to change who I am. It's like, I'm not going to change who I am. But they told her that she's going to change. She's going to be different because she's going to have white friends now. So even with the pressure that's being put on her now, and she's not even in school, but although like, mommy, they're my friends, they're joking. No, but that's the mental stability that I'm trying to teach you when it comes to social media. But these are your friends. That's already put these things in your head, like, oh, you're gonna have white friends and you're gonna have a white boyfriend and, you know, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no. It's hard with the dynamics, the changes to do, again, to go from one dynamic to a completely different one. I know she'll be okay, but it's still that fear of,
Yeah, just the moral of the story is everything, it starts at home. So, I mean, what it all comes down to. I had to go through that transition too, coming from the West Side, coming to Aurora. So It's definitely
West side till I die. Sorry.
Yeah, I grew up on the west side and I ended up moving into the suburbs when I was in high school. So yeah, I get that.
That's crazy. We lived in Aurora when we first bought our first house, actually.
Oh, really? How?
Crazy. Hey, what branch were you in, bro?
I was in the army.
Go Army, who?
Yeah, cool.
So my next question, with COVID, how has COVID been with you guys? Have you been driving each other crazy? It's been cool or no effects or the same or what is it? Being in the
Oh,
house?
yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Never could be the same. I mean, COVID was crazy. I mean, around here, for the kids, it was really rough. I know at first when they was having to do e-learning and I'm having to work remote, trying to work and take care of them at the same time. I mean, it was never the same. And basically had to check in with them a lot because obviously we've never gone through anything like this, but they've never gone through anything like this either, especially at such a young age. So, I mean, basically add on everything that we had to go through as kids on top of COVID. I mean, That's bananas if you think about it. I know it sounds crazy, but to me, I think COVID was kind of a blessing, because it made basically us open up and kind of look at everything strategically and, break it down molecularly to the smallest component. Even when it came down to how we're going to take care of ourselves and how we're going to, we started growing vegetables and, started learning, going to YouTube University and learning more information about, certain topics. So I don't think any of those things would have came into fruition, if, COVID wasn't going on because basically the world just stopped. So it's like, how do we prevent ourselves from getting sick and how do we protect our family going forward?
Yeah. I think our son, he has lung
complications, yeah.
For us, like he said, it really made us stop and zone in because if we listened to what the news was saying, my son was going to be really affected by this and it wasn't going to be a good outcome, right? So, like he said, I just went into studying different things on how to heal yourself because I was like, if the world is going to stop like this and we can't get to the doctor, we can't what can I do? And I just got into a lot of herbs and how our grandmother used to heal kids back. You know what I mean? I just got into a lot of different things that's not being used. We so quick to want to run to the doctor and we think the doctor is God and the doctor is telling us everything. And I just started studying on like, how can I keep my son alive? That was like my focus was he is going to stay alive. God is going to help me figure this out. And I did. He has been the healthiest he's been since the start of COVID. And they've been back to school. They've been to school. They was only out for like a half a year. Yeah. And then they went right back. Their school never shut down. My son can't wear a mask. My son won't put his face shield on. So I have to tell you, he's probably been exposed more than anything. And my son has been healthy. Good. Thank God. And after knock on, he has been healthy and he goes see his pulmonologist every 6 months. And the pulmonologist was like, what are you doing? And I was like, it's not man-made medicine. It's from the earth.
Yeah, because he would get admitted to a hospital annually.
He would be admitted every year, often.
Usually around Christmas or Thanksgiving, somewhere in that range. But he would always.
This has been such a blessing because it made us just look at things differently, the way we eat. Everything. It just made us just look at everything different. And he has been the healthiest he's ever been. So it's been truly a blessing because my son would get sick constantly and he hasn't been sick. And when he has been sick, it hasn't been nothing but for 4 days probably. And it hasn't never been where he required oxygen or needed to go to the emergency room. I've been able to treat him at home. So it's been good.
It's been a learning experience.
Yeah.
Good. Yep. Good. Anybody else? Like, how's it done? COVID wise.
You know what? I think that's a good thing that you got your son healthy on the health track the natural way because there's a lot of people that's doing that and not depending on the doctors because it's never any like solid foundation dealing with the doctors. They can always say, okay, take this, and it's like they don't get punished when they say take this,
and bad outcome. It makes you sick. Right. You're right.
What's happening to these doctors is so much being put into their hands, our lives in their hands. Yeah. And regulated by the government. So it makes them more trustworthy. And then, I guess growing up like how we are, we're more used to growing vegetables. Like my people from Mississippi, they grow everything.
Right.
Greens, watermelon, everything comes from the ground. Even when I went back this last time, they had cows. It's like, man, y'all went from growing greens to string beans. Now y'all got cows. It's like, what are we not getting that the South is getting? Like they got a pasture full of stuff. I'm like, y'all pretty much got a plantation.
Yeah.
And it's so healthy down there. And everything comes from like natural food. I try to do like as much natural stuff as possible.
Yeah.
Sea moss.
Yes.
A ton of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I learned a lot of tricks during COVID from people that naturally. That's another thing as far as being able to make money. It became another way to. I've seen a lot of people make a lot of money off sea moss, putting it in the jar.
I keep telling you, get some content.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a sucker for a Black person that's in business for themselves. If you got a product, I'll buy it. I'll buy probably 10 of them. I'll buy it and probably try to sell it to another person, or I'm gonna buy it and give it to my mom, because I think the elderly people they're not informed. They're missing some.
Yeah, you are right.
The younger generation.
They've been programmed, man. They've been programmed.
And pass it on to my mom and just teach her things and stuff like that. So I think COVID kind of gave me the opportunity to learn how to take care of myself health-wise more naturally and not depend on the hospitals and the doctors and everything like that. It seemed like during the time, if you step foot in the hospital, it was
you
like,
yeah.
And I was praying for that for my mom.
Yeah.
So I definitely get you changing the habits of your son, and I'm glad that you hear that he's better and everything like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody? Duyans, you have anything? The effects of COVID?
We were one of the couples or the people that was like trying to rebuild our whole house during COVID. Out here doing all like the housing projects that we wanted to do that we never got around to doing it. So we were doing that in terms of like the whole CMOS and all that. I even prior to COVID, Sasha is more the person that goes to the doctor. He still goes to the doctor. I'm more of the one that like, let me look into this first and see what kind of herbs or what kind of oils or what kind of other natural resources that I can use versus going to the doctor. Because what I realized with a lot of the doctors nowadays, they always want to put medication. And once they prescribe one medication, then you got to take another medication to combat that medication. Then you got to it's just like, you just keep putting all these different foreign objects into your body that seems to be kind of not making it better instead of treating the root cause of the problem. So I think for us, we got into like the whole projects, and we were the couple doing the projects at our house.
Okay.
Doing COVID.
So have you still, now Keisha is a marathon runner, so have you still been running?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that didn't stop. I would still run because I run with a group of ladies. We would still run, but we would like social distance. Like there'll be a mile ahead and then we'll be further back, when it first happened, because we really didn't know what it was. And I actually run with a group of doctors, and they were kind of feeding me information on some of the research and stuff that they were getting. So I was kind of like going off of what they were saying too, because they had all the inside sources outside of what we saw in the news on what this virus was and what it. So I felt comfortable with still running with them, but still social distance and, wearing a mask and everything.
Thank you. So, Keisha ran the New York City Marathon, 26 miles, right?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
In 2018, yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. So I'm trying to see, I don't know if I want to go here and if you guys are comfortable with all these unconventional relationships that they have. If you don't want to talk about it, let me know. So when I see online, I see all these polyamorous, I see all these things. Do you think that people are doing this because they don't know how to make regular relationships work, or it's just all a free for all now?
So when you say that, what are we talking about? Like what? People having multiple wives and all that stuff?
Well, you have more than one partner. You have all of that now. And it's more prevalent than it used to be. They have
so
groups
again, we're in 2022. Yeah, we're in 2022, right? And in this day and age that we live in now, obviously you see TV where homosexuality is prevalent on TV.
Yes.
Sleeping around with about 50 million different people has basically become the norm. But all that stuff you talk about, having, multiple wives and whatever, just all this stuff is like becoming the norm in society.
It's like a fad.
But we feel like, we are, again, a biblical based Christian family that believes that, God made it so that it would be myself and my wife, and she would leave her parents to cleave under me.
Cleave, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to be, do it. And then, that whole thing is, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Just being real. Now, again, like Keisha said earlier, we don't knock people's beliefs and other, what they choose to do, but this is what we believe over here. And so I think that's our take, or at least my take. I don't know if Keisha agrees with me, but that's what I think.
I think one of the things, I'm sorry to cut you off, Sasha, like I saw now that women have more. It used to be men that had multiple. Right. Now it's women that have multiple men versus the other way around. So that's the way it's changed. Yeah. It used to be in other countries that men can have multiple wives. Now women are having 3 or 4 husbands.
And women are basically taking over that whole thing, like you said.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of stuff happening today is like fads. And, I'm not knocking what nobody do. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But I think the reality of that is you're sharing, and this is how I look at it. Somebody gonna get jealous. Something gonna happen, right? I don't even understand it, but hey, I mean, if you can do it, then go for it,
right? Yeah.
But I don't see how, I don't see how it works. But I mean, I guess it works for people. So I don't know.
I know for me, I'm too jealous.
This
is not really new. It's new to Western culture, but it's not.
Right.
It's not really new.
Yeah.
New.
I mean, in other countries.
It works.
But I think people are more open about it. Yeah. People are more open now. It's not like it used to be secret. Like it used to be.
It's like taboo, but it's, it's been going on. But I say, hey, if I ain't got no heaven or hell to put nobody in, so if that's how you feel, that's what make you happy and get your rocks off, go for it. I don't know how I would deal with 2 wives in one household, with all that emotion going on at one time, but that's just me. So I choose to go one and that's it.
All right.
But I think like this whole thing, like you said, other cultures have been doing it for quite some time, probably forever. But obviously in this culture, it's been ingrained in us that it's supposed to be just, one man, one husband, one wife, or whatever. I sometimes talk to guys who, whatever, I don't know if you want to call it date women or just they're with women and they tell them, look, we just going to do what we do and, it's going to be that, right? But I think my wife kind of just said it, or one of y'all just said, like, at some point, feelings and stuff going to come about. And I don't care how much you say, oh, it's just going to be, we just going to have some fun. At some point, something's going to come about. And then that's going to start the drama where it's like, whatever. You tell us she can't come over or whatever. He can't come over. And for whatever reason, now everybody pissed off. Mm-hmm. It's just not worth it. It's just too much. That's just too much drama that, I ain't got time for
it. Anybody else want to comment on that? All right. Okay. Next. For all you guys have been married for a long time. So what is the secret to marriage? What can you tell people? Like somebody may say, you know what, I'm tired. I just want out. What can you tell them? What's the secret?
I can't tell nobody what their secret is. Everybody's different.
Right.
It would depend on where you are in your marriage, because at that point, it might be over. I can't salvage or tell you that I can help you salvage what's already done. But as one of his barbers just got engaged, and they're younger than us. And the one thing I told the young lady, I said, the one thing I can tell you to do is communicate. Keep that line of communication open. There's nothing more important than communicating. I don't care how ugly it is, how bad it looks. I don't care. communicate. That's the one thing you don't want to lose is that communication. Because once that's gone, it's hard to rope that back in. I say, and the second best thing is keep everybody out your business. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your best friend. I say, because I told her, I say, you know, even now, people are going to start changing.
Yes.
You ain't even got church yet. And she's like, it's funny you say that because, you know, people aren't celebrating her the way that she thought that they would. I say, well, you have to watch those type of people because it's a lot of people. And again, they've been together since high school. They aren't perfect, but she's vented, how he said earlier, mama still holding that grudge, or when they was in high school, he called out her name, or he took the baby this way. It don't matter. People don't let that stuff go. So in their transgressions over time of their relationship, people aren't happy for them. People are, oh, y'all ain't gonna last. That ain't gonna make it. Again, you have to understand that when you make that, because I even told her, I'm like, go to counseling. She's like, how do I do that? Go to counseling. I say, first of all, my grandfather wouldn't even marry me and him without counseling. So it was a no. So it was like, it's one of those things. I'm like, you know, I understand people, how we say they do it for the wedding. I want to make sure you all are doing it for what it's for and that you are on the same page. I'm like, go to counseling, baby, because they may be able to show you some things and bring out some things that you all may not be ready for. And again, y'all, 5 years, I don't care. It doesn't mean that you're meant to wed and, you know, that life. I'm like, but the most, I say, do not lose that communication and that you two, it's you and him against the world. Literally, I can't say that enough. Not your sister, your auntie. When y'all get mad, you talk to each other. You talk to God and you talk to each other. Because I have to pray before we have conversations sometimes. Because I have to pray on my tongue. Y'all know me. I have to pray about that. Yeah. Because it's like some conversations are hard to have. And that saying, hurt people hurt people. When you hurt, you have to, like, okay, let me woosah, let me breathe, because that tongue is powerful.
Yes, it is.
I don't know who made that lie say sticks and stones may break my bones.
Yeah, it's a lie.
That's a lie. Because I'd rather you hit me with a rock and a stone because I can heal from that. But those words, I can't forget how you made me feel. So if you made me feel anyway with the words that you said, I don't care how many apologies you give me, how many purses you buy me, it don't matter. You can't bring that back. You can't take that back. I don't care. It doesn't matter. So I told her, I'm like, the one thing I just communicate. And it's just you and him.
Yeah.
I was going to say, for me, I found that hard when I got married because I was one of those independent and I was going to be independent and alone. So I found it hard trying to connect because I was so used to being able to say and do whatever. And then I found somebody that said, you know what, you're going to sit down and shut up. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's how we're going to do, you know? So it took...
you know you liked it.
I did. I was like, oh, me? Yeah, you know?
What's the pearls?
So yeah, I do get that communication because I had to learn a lot about communication because I was so easy. It's easier for me to walk away. My husband is the one who keep it all together because sometimes I just shut down and don't want to talk. Yeah. So I would say communication is one of the best
I have to say understanding too, because when you communicating, you can't communicate just to get what you want to get out.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to listen and understand what they're saying. It may sound like a bunch of crap, but understand they have a point and it's what they're saying is what they're feeling. Okay. So I think that's what helped us too. When we had counseling, I swear, I believe that is what keeps us together. Counseling before we got married, because we went through a lot of things that I needed to hear and go through. Because like I said, I was spoiled. I think we got cut off and I was saying, I'm spoiled. I'm a daddy's girl and I want my way. And when we got done with counseling, she was just like, you ain't gonna get your way. It ain't gonna always be what you want. You know, it's not going to always be your way. So you have to listen. I don't even remember the name of the book, but the book was phenomenal. And it taught me to be able to listen, to understand, not to listen, to reply. And that helps a lot too. We want our way and we want what we saying to be the truth of what it is. And sometimes that's not always the case, you know, so I think understanding is a good thing too. Not always trying to see it from your perspective, try to see it from their perspective too. So I think that helps.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I would say that I agree with both the communication. For Keisha and I, what I would say is that the counseling, premarital counseling, I think is great as well. It's very important. But what I would say is with us being married, 15 years this past August, is that I actually initiated us doing some counseling within the last year, just to fix some things, to get on the same page and learn how to communicate more openly and deal with certain issues or whatever. So it's a continuing process is my point. Don't think that just because you took marriage counseling, whenever you got married and, oh yeah, you may talk and stuff, but are you communicating effectively?
Right.
Well, right. Are you making sure that you understand each other and that, you are on the same page? Even with that, it's always going to be a work in progress. So that's my point, though, is to keep continuing to do those things and continuing to understand that it's a work in progress. 15 years, 30 years, 45 years, you still going to be learning. She or he still going to get on your darn nerves, but you got to learn how to move through it.
And I'll say this too, because we've been together for over 20 years. So we've changed throughout these 20 years. Yeah. And, outside of us doing the marital counseling, we also do individual counseling because, you got to work on your own issues before you come, even during marriage. You come together because that may spill over into your relationship. Yeah. So I agree 100% with him that counseling, even if nothing is wrong, it helps because it helps to address when something comes about. How you have tools to deal with it.
And I'd like to be a little bit more transparent. And my brother that's a military veteran may understand and agree with me. Being a Army veteran and an Iraq veteran, war veteran, if you will, we deal with some things that affect us from like the PTSD standpoint that affects relationships as well, right? And so like she said, with the individual counseling, I got to deal with some things on the individual side of counseling to deal with the effects of having gone to war and seeing the crap that we see over there and deal with over there. No matter what your job was over there, man, you're exposed to some things that are not normal, man. And war is not normal. And it's tough. And so you think you come back and you think you'll be all right. But the reality is that you might not be. And so again, all that stuff translates into, your relationships and your dealing with your kids and your wife and everything, and your work, all of that. So that's something that folks need to also be cognizant of.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody have any additional comments?
I just think that people relate counseling to wrong. They always feel like that's the time you do it when something's wrong. No different than praying to God. You pray when something's wrong. You don't hear too many people say, "Oh, just thank you because you woke me up this morning." It's like, oh, the guy can you let this money come through because this bill I need to get paid. So I think people equate that to the same thing with counseling, especially Black people. They look at counseling, something got to be wrong with you or has to be a problem. And that's not true. I am one who was against counseling. I was in foster care my entire life, so I hated the idea of what counseling was supposed to be because I rebelled against it. So I held a grudge against some person who don't know me. You can't tell me what my life is supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be. So growing up, I was that person like, I don't need no damn counseling. What they tell me, I don't know about myself. Right. However, I've learned to change that narrative. But it's not always a reflection of something is wrong with you. Right. Sometimes even with me, I've learned my triggers over the years of having dealt with childhood traumas. Those triggers come out and times you're like, wait, what's going on? Or, I didn't know that was a trigger for me. So I need to talk about this. In losing my mom during COVID, there were certain triggers. I'm like, hey, I'm not myself. but even in that, I had to identify those, even though it was a wrong for me, but even in that, it doesn't always have to be that way. But sometimes we do have those outlets that can't be a friend or a sister or a mother. It may be a person that knows nothing about you and can give you that voice of, I'm not going to even say reason, but just that voice or that ear that has no judgment and can actually just view it based off of, again, they don't know you from a person walking down the street, but they've been trained to read and, decipher through your words, your story, your demeanor, your mannerisms, and, kind of redirect that and tell you something about yourself you probably didn't even know about.
Very true.
I definitely advocate for that for anybody, children included, especially with the world that they're going through. I think it's a healthy tool for everybody.
Definitely. Yeah. And, I find myself, and I was thinking about what Keisha said about as you get older, you grow into, me and my husband we've been together 16 years this year, but married 7. So we spent a lot of our adult life together. So a lot of times I find myself learning something different about him. I'm like, he's been saying the same thing forever, but I don't ever think that I heard him. And that's what counseling can do for you too, because they're saying it, they're telling you what they want you to do, but you're not hearing it because you're interpreting it in a different way versus how they're telling you what they need. I remember at one time in our relationship, I would say, well, I'm going to cook this. And he'd be like, okay. And he would eat it. But he said, I never asked him what he wanted. And I was like, and it's something as simple as that. I never asked him what he wanted to eat. I would say, well, I'm cooking and this is what you're going to eat. So it's things like that, communication, that's so important. So I thank you guys for being so transparent. And the last question, you guys have been great. The last question that I have for you, what legacy do you want to be behind for your family when it's all said and done?
So I'm on this path right now, right? When it comes to legacy, as African American people, I feel like we don't leave our kids with, and I don't know if this is, anyway, let me not even do the disclaimer thing, but I think that it's about leaving them with something, leaving them with the generational wealth, creating something for them that they're, I guess, ahead of the game instead of trying to catch up. And so, but not only that though, when it comes to the money, but it's like creating, being the example for them. Like, what is a marriage? What is a real marriage? What is a healthy marriage? What is a healthy relationship? What is a godly relationship? Those are the things to me that are important, right? So that to me is what I think we're trying to leave behind for Simone. I don't know if Keisha has anything to add.
Thank you. Anybody else? The legacy you want to leave behind?
I'm definitely on the same path as well. I mean, I think it's basically want to leave a life of abundance, or a life of abundance for my children and for my grandchildren. I want them to be able to have a stepping stone, something for them to build on and take over and create and take it to the next level, and not just be looking for outwardly acceptance or outwardly mindset or things that are out there. I want them to be able to make up their own mind. Whatever life of abundance looks like to them. It doesn't even have to look like what I want it to look like. But at the same time, I just wanted to have them, not have to struggle and have to start all over and pull out the mud. I want to pull out the mud for them, but I want them to expand on it, when it's all said and done. And I definitely want them to have a strong relationship, mind, body, and spirit. So pass on the tools that I've learned, whether it comes to dealing with, like we talked about earlier, about different herbs or meditation, things of that nature. Tools that they could use going forward that my parents weren't able to instill in me because they didn't know. But I learned a few things, and I like to be able to pass it down to them.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, piggybacking off of everything else, I think every parent would want to instill those core values of life, of the world that we live in, of, being true to yourself. I feel like those are inevitable, of things that we all want to instill in our children. But when it comes to legacy, I guess people look at that word and look at material things, where like if it's a building, a company, something, that's gonna bring in money. But I don't think that's all that a legacy is about. No different than you have, musical legends. I want you to find out what your purpose is, and I want you to live in that purpose. A lot of us are adults and still don't know what our purpose is. So my goal is to help you figure that out early enough as where I can help you manifest that and, push you towards that so you can live in that and be that. Of course, with us having like the shop and, if y'all can see on top of our mantelpiece, we are starting a product line, King and Queen's Heritage. But again, that goes to him being a barber. So, the girls may not care to be a barber or want to be in the hair care industry, but it's something, that you can say is yours. You've helped create it. They're literally in the kitchen helping us boil. What is stuff called? What are we boiling?
The picks?
Yeah, the process, like where we're literally boiling the oils and stuff to put the picks in, and they send, helping us bag them up. So just little stuff like that was like, hey, you helped put in the blood, sweat, and tears to this company. So futuristically, when it becomes, we got a warehouse and, that's yours. You help build this together, whether you want to continue it later on after we're here. We're showing you how to start an LLC. We're showing you financial literacy. For my daughter's birthday, I added her to my credit cards. That's a present. Our parents didn't teach us about credit. Our parents didn't teach us about what that looked like. My mama had gas bills in my name. So it's a different world of what we want to teach and instill in them that I didn't have. So I want to teach her what credit looks like. I want to teach her, how to budget and plan and not live outside of your means. If you want that Birkin bag, great. Can you afford it though? It's
right off.
It's nice to see those things. And unfortunately, that's what they're subjected to. But it's like, do you need that? Does that make you you? Does that make you who you are? To have a label on your back that ain't your own? Because you can be that label. You wear your own label. Like he is really good with wearing Black owned apparel, not Gucci, not Fendi. And again, don't get me wrong, that's the standard. But anything this man has on is Black owned. It don't cost $12,000. But that doesn't make him the man. That doesn't make you appealing. But these young women and young men, that's what they idealize on. So my legacy to her would just be you. Don't be a follower. Don't care about, be you. And whatever you want to be, you can be. I just want to make sure I got the right stepping stones and the foundation for you to do and be whatever it is that you want to be. But at least, like Damien said, I don't want her to dig in the mud like I had to. I want you to have a foundation to stand on and build on. That mud is hardened, it's ready for you. I don't want you having to go through that. So that's my job, is to prepare that foundation smooth, ready. Now, what you choose to do with it is your own. And even as parents, that's a fear of mine of, I don't care how much we teach them and instill in them, they still got to make those choices.
Yep.
Whether you choose my way, your way, the highway, the low way, God's way, your mama way, I don't know. Whatever way you choose, I know that I've done the best. We've done the best that we can to make sure you have the right tools to be great.
All right. Thank you guys for being so transparent. Any final words? Any final thing you guys want to share?
Y'all dope. I love y'all. Y'all is so
Sammy.
Yeah, let's do this next week.
Anything else? Final tidbits? Share.
What do you want to leave your legacy? I know you don't have kids, but even still, you answer your own question, man.
Oh, wow. Why you put me on the spot like that, girl? But anyway, I do, whatever I do, like put out there into the world, I try to leave it for everybody. I have the books and I have the things that I do. I have the podcast. I just made a board game up, y'all, called Bosspreneur, to teach kids financial literacy. So to be out in the stores by March. So I try to live my life to leave behind whatever I can for other people. I don't have kids, but I had Tamika and I had you growing up. And I would hope that I instill something in you. I've always had other kids around me to try to help out. So I hope that you guys learn something from me, that when I am gone, that, you know, you can share and say, well, this is what I learned from her. So I try to leave a little bit of myself with everybody that I come in contact with. That's my goal in life.
That's what's up.
Absolutely.
Leave your
right.
footprint.
All right.
So I thank you guys for listening to What Happens in This House Stays in This House podcast. Create a great day, week, and year. Thank you all.